Hi guys, it's Stacy and I have a bit of a collective haul here, and then I also have a project share that I had made some sewing projects. So I did pick up a few things from Anna's latest release from Sweet Miss Daisy Designs. If you watched the chick card on my channel, you could see that I used a few of the stamp sets in it. So I picked up Hey Chickie. Thought it was sweet, and I like the sentiments in this. Chippy, which I haven't had a chance to color yet. We've got Two Chicks, I believe this one's called. This Whoop-de-doodle-doo, this one is one I got last time. Dashing Snowman, so I got her latest snowman. I need to get a couple of the others too, but hey, you know, budget. So there's that. I also have a Facebook Marketplace haul. I got more paper tray ink stuff. Went to Hobby Lobby. Let me tell you, my store did not mark down their clearance like all the others did typically. They did a little bit here, a little bit there. And so I was able to get a couple of the House Mouse stamps. So normally $6.99 down to $3.49. This one's called Monica, Friend, and Amanda. Very cute. They have like cone flowers. You can color them up as sunflowers, daisies, however you want. So I grabbed every house mouse that they had left that I didn't have. And I believe they only had these three that I'm going to show you. This one here. This one's called Amanda and Monica. Cute. $6.99 to $3.99. We've got Maxwell and Monica. These look like almost like little poppies. You could color them however though. $6.99 down to $3.49. My husband saw this stamp and he thought the sentiment was nice. It says send love and hugs your way, or sending. I think it says sending under there. And I like the fonts that are like print font and then cursive font combined together. So for 74 cents, I'm not a big fan of woodblock stamps as much as I am like cling stamps, but if I want to, I can take it off the block. I also found this stamp here, and it was, and this one was normally, this one doesn't say, oh, $2.99 down to 74 cents. This one, so that was like, what, 75% off? So that's interesting that these were 50, that one was 75. This one was normally $4.99, so this one's 50% off, down to $2.49, and I thought it was a pretty wreath. And it is all line work, so I could be colored in except for these little sprigs, which no line coloring. So I got that one. I got these, and I had taken the packaging off because I wasn't going to do a haul video, but you guys, I haven't been around because I've been sick. Like my last video I shared making a card with the chick stamp set from Anna. I said I was starting to feel better. Well, let me tell you, the next day I woke up feeling like dookie and have been sick for basically nearly another week. Today is Thursday, and that was filmed Friday, or the voiceover was done Friday on it. So it's been nearly a week. I am starting to feel a bit better, but I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood. I got these. These actually twist, and I'm probably going to use these in my kitchen. I'm probably going to go back and get more. Why I didn't get more? So they like twist and lock together. So you can take the lids off, or you could twist them. Oh, come on. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but they twist on there. So, and they do have like the rubber seals. So if you're going to use them in the craft room, great, which I might get a set for the craft room. And they do have different colors. I think they're around $3. So it looks like you can only stack them 3 high, or you could do more. You just couldn't do this one. You would have an extra from another set because they come in sets of 3. So, you know, in your kitchen, in your craft room, anywhere. So I like this size bowl. So for certain things, because as you guys know, I'm on a low carb diet, which I'll get to with something else I bought in here for it. I got these envelopes, and they had a whole bunch more on clearance. They were normally $4.99 down to $1.24. For me, I have tons of envelopes. I also can make envelopes, and I have lots of paper that would be great for that. So I didn't pick up a whole lot, but I like the black ones for sure. I got these aprons for the grandkids because I want to customize them because my husband has a Cricut Joy, which will have to show me how to use. They were $2.49 down to $1.24 and they're child aprons. But look, I opened one up, you guys. Oh, hey, that's my hair. Sorry. And my daughter was over. I'm like, hey, look what I got the kids. Like, they can craft their Easter egg color or whatever. I'll customize them. And they're legitimately, I didn't look at the size. I just saw it said child. This is like the size of a toddler. So it'll fit my youngest grandson, who is 4. But the 9 and 10-year-old, it will not. Or it will, but it'll just be really small. It'll be like a bit more. So I might go back and see if they have the adult size for them. So just so you guys know, the child size and the measurements are here. I just wasn't thinking. Plus, they would still fit him. I put this over my head, and it was a little bit bigger than a bib. I got the Tim Holtz clearance. Now, I kept looking, and it didn't go on clearance. And then I went back after being sick this week. I went back yesterday, and they had a couple of things, and I went ahead and picked this up. These are these rub-ons or stickers? They're one of the two. I think they're rub-ons. Yeah, they're rub-ons, like transfers. And I already have some of these, but I was so bummed. They had like the discolored, like faux-looking tape, and then like the strips of like the photos, the old-timey photos left, which I'd rather make my own of my family than to have some strangers in my stuff. And that's just my preference, so I didn't get it, but everything else was wiped out, and I was bummed, but it's not like I need it. I got that, and then I went ahead and picked up, because in that Facebook Marketplace haul I got from the craft room I purchased, and the furniture and everything, there was that Toto machine that hot foils, and I was playing around with it. My husband got me some foil. So I paid $3 for this one. And they had a couple more rainbow, but I thought I'd try it first, and I knew it was going to go on clearance because I saw everybody else, but I didn't want to miss out. And when I went back yesterday, all that was left was the silver. So I got all the silver. I mean, because that's inexpensive. I did pick up, I think this is a yard of this fabric. And you'll see with the chicken fabric that I talked about, showed in one of my other videos. I did make something with them, which I'll be sharing. I wish I would have got more of these guys, and there were a bunch of these, and I don't know why I didn't. They were normally $4.99 down to $1.37. There's 4 cups in there, 4 lids, 4 straws, which I thought the straws were missing, and it was like sealed, so I should have ripped it open and looked. And then I thought about it after. I was like, I can customize these for the kids, for my grandkids, and my kids, and our household or whatever for Easter, and fill them with candy or whatever. But there's enough here for my grandson, so that's all that matters. 4 of them for $1.37 is inexpensive. I figured even if you don't customize them and you have them in the house, a lot of times when I have my grandkids over and they have a juice or whatever, I make sure they're in cups with lids. Then I can send them home with them, and it's no biggie. Oh, I got this batting, which I really like, this interfacing for bags. It's like foam, and it is, it's like an iron-on. It's got the heat where you iron it and it bonds to it. It's got glue on one side. So I really liked it, and I'll show you the bags I made with it here in just a minute. So I had to get more. My husband bought me this. This was from Amazon, but it's Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil. So got that. I went to Five Below today, and I went there for the acrylic paint markers. Couldn't find them, was looking around, and I thought this was cute. I'm such a dork and such a child, but it's little Post-it notes that are like Pop-Tarts with a little teal, a little teal toaster. I just thought it was cute. Remind me of the Not Too Shabby release. So, I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was cute. The only bummer is I looked at regular Post-it notes and some other Post-it notes I have. They're too wide to fit in here. So once these are gone, unless you can get more or a different size that maybe they're just narrower, they're thinner than other Post-it notes. But I figured, even if I cut scraps of cardstock or paper to put in there to make notes, because I usually list what products I use on cards and then read them off in my voiceover as I show them. I went by the Dollar Tree today. I like these, and the cashier asked me about these. they're not like the, what is it, the Unstoppables or the Downy or, you know, the ones you get at the store that you pay a fortune for, but they are more like salt, so they're not like waxy. They don't leave that heavy residue on your clothes or in your things, and they make them smell good. There's a Clorox brand that I got like this from Ross, and I can't find it anywhere. And I wish I would have bought more of it because I loved it. It actually worked as good as the others. This doesn't quite as good, but you know, you use maybe a quarter of a cup, so you get, I probably get about 8 washes, 6 to 8 washes out of one of these, just depending on the loads. And it does make it smell good without the weird residue. I got a couple of Bob's Burgers socks. I usually don't buy their socks, you guys, but I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a huge Bob Burgers fan, and I really wish they had all the characters. I wish they had Gene. I mean, I love Gene's character, but it said, "I'm a delight," with Louise, and then it says Bob's Burgers on the bottom. I was like stoked for those. And then these ones just say Bob's Burgers up at the top with Bob and Linda. Anyway, my husband hasn't seen I got this, but he's gonna crack up because he knows how much I love Bob's Burgers. And then I got Trust the Process. I was just looking for a little notebook. I need to start tracking my food again, like what I eat in a day, because I weigh out my food. I put the calorie and the carb count down, and I try to keep it below a certain amount. So when you hit a stall like I have, you need to start, you know, that's what I need to do to get back on track. And then I saw this one, so I grabbed one of each. I figured even if I don't use it for that, but I thought that was kind of fitting. Teal is my favorite color. This is a minty green, and trust the process. So I tell myself that all the time, just keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this. Here, I'll just push it over. Want to see this? This is no editing video because I don't want to edit. And then I'll show you my projects. Then I'll show you my Facebook haul. Because the one where I got the paper tray ink stuff from, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted. I said, originally when I saw her message, I said, no, I'm good. But I said that to myself, not out loud, of course. And then I watched the video twice, and I seen some dies and some ones that went to the other stuff that I got from her. And so I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. And I told my husband that, and I told her that, and we were just cracking up. She was a super nice lady. I hadn't met her in person. My husband had went. So here's what I sewed first. And this is for someone. I have to get it off in the mail. Their package hasn't gone off in the mail. If they're watching, they know who they are. Your package will get done, I promise. So look, this is my third zipper I've sewn, or was this my second? This was my second zipper I've sewn. So I'm not a pro. It's not perfect. I'm getting better each time. So it's, you know, and then the handles aren't perfect. So for when she gets it, it is handmade. I do think it came out cute. I like this size. My daughter liked this size, and she tried to take it, and I said no. So I had to make her one, but I quilted it. And then I actually made a second one with the fat quarters I had of this chicken fabric. Well, look, I was trying to get this size here, and I totally fumbled it because I couldn't remember. And I'm like, oh, this will work out. And it reminds me of a lunch bag. And I do love the chickens. And these handles are a little bit different. Oh, great. Is it going to get caught now? This one does have a pocket, too, that matches the outside. And it's deep, right? And I quilted it. And this is using a different interfacing. So it's like a more felty batting. And it's the Pellon. I can't remember which one. I got it at Joann's, and Joann's is no more. Then I was like, I got the sizing right. And I made one for my daughter. And I did not want to edit this video, but I did film the bag I made for my daughter. She wanted a coffee one. It is like this size here. And it is a tiny bit different, but it's basically the same thing. So I thought, oh, this is the right measurements. It's going to end up like this one here. No, it ended up very in between the two. Do you see that? I don't mind this size. My daughter said this would be good whip bag for crocheting or knitting because it'll fit the needles and a skein of yarn with your project, which is true if you're only working on one. So this one I sewed these on the outside because when I did hers, I forgot to add these in before I sewed on the zipper. And I was like, I know you can do this way, so I'm winging it, you guys. Like, I'm not following a pattern. You really don't have to for a bag. If you've made a bag, if you don't know how to make a bag, follow the pattern. Then you can wing it after you make a couple, because I have no problem making bags without zippers. It's box in the corner is box in the corner, lining a bag is lining a bag. It's probably one of the easiest things you can start with besides bowl koozies. Start with a bowl koozie and then move to a bag. So I did zipper tabs, which I was happy because they were successful. My daughter noticed that on her bag. This is with that foam from Hobby Lobby that I just showed. And these are zippers from Hobby Lobby too. So you can trim a zipper down, and that's what's done on, this one might fit right, but the other ones didn't. So you just trim them down. So I've got a pocket in there. I've got this yellow fabric that I showed, and I used all of it up. So, or almost all of it. And now my daughter wants a chicken bag with that yellow fabric. So hopefully I can get this size. And trust me, I've measured it, and I've measured it with the box corners, and yeah, anyway, all right. On to my Facebook Marketplace haul. So there's quite a bit in here. Not as much as the last one, but there's quite a bit. So, and I really don't have the space for it anyway, but here's this one. It says Just Because in a bunch of different fonts, and then Thinking of You in all these different fonts, which that's nice. Those are good sentiment stamps. And to be honest, I've used a lot of the stamps I purchased from her. I've used a lot of the sentiments out of it. This one looks like it has a Father's and Mother's Day with a tie, some flowers, and a lot of this stuff is still for sale on Paper Tray Ink. So it's nice that I can go look for references. This is part of that stamp set there too. So like this die here, I can tell we'll cut this one. This one will cut this one, and this one will cut that one. So I need to put that in there. Just set it off over here. Thanksgiving, which is like little, I don't know if this is Paper Tray Ink or not, but looks like a turkey, acorn, corn. There's this mix and match scallop die, which I have something similar like this that I got from her that's a different size, which is nice. And there's like a stitched rectangle in there, this like lacy bulk mail envelope. I was excited to see that. I think I can make little, you could even turn this into like a box to fit a card in if you've got a dimensional card. An envelope liner. We've got some sun rays here. Some flowers and leaves, and All About You. And I believe this goes with the set I already had, and I probably have the die somewhere. This die doesn't go to that, and I probably have the stamps that goes to. Some of it she had duplicates. Mountain Majesty dies, and it looks like that's what that is too. There's probably a stamp set that goes with that. These tag dies, I had started making some for Christmas but got busy with other things. And they are really neat. There's all different seasons, all different, and there's like a tag piece that goes to it that you can layer it up on, or you can just layer them up, put them on your card. So stars, clouds, sun rays. You've got this tree going this way, this tree going this way, so you could create something like that. And then you've got like a hill. So you could do that, and you could even do another little hill if you want. However, you can combine them all different ways. And it just says Everyday on it, so I'm not sure that's the name of it. We've got Stylish Birthday with all these different birthday stamps, which is cool because I've got another birthday set from her with, and this is all kinds of different sentiments. I mean, you could see them in the photo there. Sending You, and it looks like it has some layering flowers here. Sending You My Gratitude, Sending You Comfort, and then there's like almost like a label here. And then it's got a die, and it looks like it cuts out some leaves, which I don't know if it goes to it. But if not, I have to look around and see what I have in my stash, because I probably have it from her. Like that almost looked like the other flower that was in one of the other sets. So this one, and I have a whole bunch more in the bag. This is just the pile I have here. Easy chair and TV, and then it has the dies that go with it. We've got this one, which they're called Valentine Pinups, and I've got like holiday and another one, like multiple different seasons. These actually, you stamp them and cut them out. And I thought this little heart tag here, which is part of the set, but you could use it just as a tag. There's a little heart in there you can use by itself. These actually go on little clothespins. So when you do like Happy Mail or, you know, swaps and stuff, you decorate your clothespins and you, that's what they are. We've got a candy corn die here, which I don't ever think was used because it wasn't cut out. And so here's this piece and the layering piece that probably turn it into a shaker. These would probably turn into all the little shaker bits. And then there's this part that has, which I've got a bunch of these like index card dies from her. These ones are candy corn. You know, here's some different pieces you can layer on there. And I think I've got plain one. So these can be used with any of them. So there's those. I want to reach back out to her, which I probably will. And who knows, she might see this video. And see if she's got the other part of the nativity set that I got from her, because it's missing baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph, but it's got one of the wise men and like some of the other stuff. This is like an easel. So this piece goes on there. It's an easel. And then you cut out like the watercolor paints. That reminds me of like Crayola paints. You've got like a paint palette. Here's, you can cut them out individually and layer them however you want. And then you can make it stand up. And then there's like paint brushes. Shouldn't have dumped them out. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to make this super long, guys. I thought that was kind of cool. You could probably even set it up and have like a painting on there, like a scene that doesn't even have to look like it's painted. It could be like a little, whatever. It could be a cutesy scene. It could be a nature scene. For you, so this one's like wish big, may all of your birthday wishes come true, happy birthday, time to celebrate. So it looks like it's all birthday, but it says graduation, wedding day, anniversary, and new home. Just a little something to from. This one has like 3 sets in it with the dies. So it has the stamp sets and the dies. And I'll show you the dies because they have the pictures of the set. So there's an apple. And that comes with all the stamps. And then you have the die to cut out the apple. Then you have a strawberry. And then you hit the die to cut out the strawberry. And then you have a watermelon with all the sentiments. And then the die for the watermelon. That's interesting to cut it out in 3 separate pieces because it doesn't look like a watermelon back there, does it, guys? I'm sure it is. Let's see. Yeah, it's layered. So there's the bottom, and then that one layers on top. So it's like a scalloped melon. Okay. This one's the turkey one. Gobble Gobble, it has the turkey dies. And this one, anniversary, happy, wishes, in different fonts. This one here, holiday greens with the dies. And then holiday green borders, which they coordinate together with the dies. Here's another one of those index cards. It says happy, so you could do happy and then stamp out birthday and cut it out in like a banner. This one, a few pointers. So it looks like it has the days of the week. Maybe for, they did like these index cards, planners, but you could use these on cards too. So amazing, the best part. Excited about this, you plus me, this is love, absolutely elated, thankful for this. So all these different things. And then we have some like different wood grains like in planks. Noted Scalloped A2 vertical die. So it's a stitch rectangle, a couple different sizes in there. And then you've got some scalloped frames, and then like a little scalloped rectangle. This one is like a photo, like, you know, you put in your scrapbooks, and then you can cut out photo corners. But you could use that on cards too, or wherever. And then, what is that, a hex bone? Or herringbone? Herringbone. This one says, just says love. I don't know if that's the name of it. Always love you, I love you. And it's in different fonts. This one, I want to reach out to her. It's got some chicken wire, so it's farm and barn, and then it's got some wood planks, another smaller wood plank, another smaller chicken wire die, but it looks like at one time it had a barn die, and I wouldn't be surprised if she has it. So I want to ask her. So there's that. Then I wasn't quite sure what this was. So it's basically already printed out for you, and there's stencils in there. So the dies cut these out, or you can stencil them and cut them out with the dies, or not. You could stencil them and not cut them out. So here's the different stencils so that you can layer up to get the flower pot, the different flowers, and then you have the dies to cut it out, and then you can layer them all together. This probably is like one of those cards that you could slide in there and pull out, maybe write a little message here, I don't know. But there's that. I figured even if I don't use this paper and I use the stencils, that could be cool, even if I don't use the dies but use the stencils. However, this one is Skater Dude and Rock On, and then it has the dies. Now this one I had, this Nativity Silhouettes add-on, but I got the dies in it this time. Now there is a second one that goes on there, because this is the additional, the add-on. So this is the Wise Men. I want to get the one that has baby Jesus and Joseph and Mary with the, and I thought I had it. I did, and I might somewhere. I don't know. But I don't think I did, because I looked for it at Christmas time. I think this is like the third set I've got of this Fly Away, because I bought it from, I think I got 2 from her, another one from a different woman I got a lot from. So it's got a plain with a little banner and the stamps and dies. Here's alphabet and numbers. These were some loose dies in there, which I probably somewhere have those flowers. And then I believe I had part of this before, which I know I did, but there were pieces missing. So I matched them up. So like this here was not in there to make the wreath. This here, that's what this is with the deer. And then this is part of that set, and it's a tag set, so it builds these tags, and there's all these different dies that layer up for this tag set or banner, however you want to do it. And I believe there was pattern paper at one time that this could cut out too, and then there's sentiments that go with it that nestle in there, which they could be used with it, without it. You could use the tags without it. So that's that. And that's everything, guys. I need to get to working on a couple of things for Not Too Shabby, and then I will also do release, or I'll do another card on my channel, and get working on some stuff. Starting to feel a little bit better, so fingers crossed that I do. If you guys want me to work on something specific, let me know. Oh, I also got this, which I didn't show in my last video. I had my husband pick up this Desert Sand for no line coloring. I've only used it a couple of times. I like the soft peach ink better so far, but I haven't used this enough to give a definitive, but this shows up less in the end than this one. So this might be good for those that struggle with that line completely disappearing. So I use this soft peach color but I got this because I know it's good for no line. So I will play around with it more and use it in a couple more of my videos and let you know the verdict and what I like about each one of them and which I prefer for what and what. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.